Well, 10 women across Australia have been killed in 20 days, allegedly at the hands of men. I'm going to say that again. 10 women killed across our country in 20 days, allegedly at the hands of men.
It is hard to watch and it's hard to read, but these women deserve more. These faces, these stories deserve more. On November 30, a 51-year-old woman was beaten to death in Northcote. December 2, Diane died after a random attack at a Perth shopping centre. She was pregnant. December 3, Nellamy stabbed to death in her home in Melbourne, allegedly by her husband. December 4, Helen's body was found in South Fremantle. December 5, 51-year-old mum Lynn stabbed multiple times. December 12, we lost police officer Rachel McCrow alongside her colleague in a calculated attack. December 15, a 24-year-old was assaulted and killed in Perth that same day. April, stabbed to death in Queensland. December 19, a woman was found dead in Albion. Also on the 19th, Danielle Finlay-Jones was beaten to death, allegedly by a Tinder date. Some of these women were teachers, they were mothers, some were devoted friends, and they were loving daughters. To the families and friends of those that were killed, all of Australia is standing with you and all of Australia is hurting. This is an immense problem that needs immediate action.
Here to provide more insight is the Director of White Ribbon Australia, Alan Ball. Alan, thank you for your time this morning. These women came from all walks of life. All Australians are asking, why is this continuing to happen?
Well, first of all, our condolences to those families who are experiencing unimaginable pain and grief. They're going to be experiencing more than an empty seat at the Christmas table this year. Domestic violence is a complex issue, underpinned by power and control. And the reality is, it impacts women far more than it impacts men, and men are perpetrating the violence. But the good news is, most Australian men are not violent. In fact, most Australian men are silent on the issue, and it's with the absence of action and this silence where violence thrives. So we need to collectively raise the bar as a society and understand what can we do to prevent it before it happens.
I mean, the statistics are alarming, they're infuriating, they're also almost unbelievable. 1 in 3 women have experienced some form of violence by a man they know. How do we stop this?
In October, the state, territory and Commonwealth governments came together to launch a plan for 10 years to stop violence before it starts. Part of this plan, and central to this plan, is connecting men to the issue of women's safety. So technically, we have an aspiration that any child that's born today is raised in a household free of violence and abuse. But it's going to require so much work and a lot of heavy lifting, particularly by men. White Ribbon Australia provides resources and programs, including respectful relationship education for young people to understand consent and to stop technology-facilitated abuse. We train and develop employees in Australian workplaces to address harassment, bullying and discrimination. And we're working with local communities to build and implement prevention plans.
As we've just heard, there's been a shocking spike in violence this month. Is there any reason behind it any reasoning as to why this is happening?
Christine, earlier this year, we had a similar number of women murdered in a very similar time frame. If your viewers are watching and thinking, it's not happening in my backyard, the reality is it's happening in every postcode and occurring every day of the year.
All right, so what support do women need as we approach what I imagine is usually a fairly volatile period over Christmas?
It's essential that men are connected to the issue of women's safety. Women, children and victims have been doing the heavy lifting for far too long, and it's not up to those who are experiencing violence and abuse to stop it. The new conversation we need to be having in Australia is, what can men do? So if you're an Australian man, I need you to call out sexism. If you've got the ability, I need you to rewrite policies and practices in the workplace that promote gender equality. I need you to be a really good bystander to your mates and share the parenting responsibilities at home and role model respect in every interaction and in every relationship. Violence against women and their children is preventable. We can do this, but we need to work together because the end goal is Australia free of violence and Australia that promotes kindness and compassion.
Alan, it's hard to think of a more important message at this time of the year, so we really appreciate your time and expertise, and keep banging down the door for us here at Today Show, and we'll keep covering this as long as we need to.
Thank you so much.
G'day Today Show viewers. Thanks for watching YouTube. Our YouTube channel is fantastic. Subscribe now for brand new videos every day and exclusive bonus clips. Come on, you know you want to.